The Akashic records are said to be a collection of information of all the happenings and events that have ever taken place here on this planet. That's a very interesting concept, because that means anything and everything that has ever happened on this planet, conversations, wars, deals in business, relationships, books that have been written, events, anything and everything that you can imagine that could ever take place here on Earth is recorded in a bank of information that is now referred to as the Akashic records. Now, how true is this? That's an interesting question. But to give you an example of the existence of the Akashic records, there has been not one, but multiple cases of scientists who have discovered an invention, but on different sides of the world at the same time. So imagine a scientist who is in a lab and he discovers a particular medicine. And there is another scientist on the other side of the world who was also in the lab, and he discovers the same medicine at the same time. But these scientists didn't know of each other's existence. Once again, this has happened on multiple occasions, and so one has to ask the question, where are the scientists getting this information from? Or how is it possible for two people on the other side of the world from each other to invent something at the same time? Well, the theory is that they are both retrieving information from the Akashic records simultaneously. Another thing that I want to get across in today's video that I've mentioned before is that human beings have consciousness, and this consciousness has been proven scientifically to travel in waves. And so if consciousness travels in energetic waves, well, one of the main teachings of science is that energy is never lost, it is simply transferred. And so if our consciousness is releasing energetic waves out into the ether, one has to stop and ask the question, where is that energy going? Where are those consciousness waves traveling to? Well, perhaps this may answer the question as to the existence of the Akashic records. Maybe all of this energy from our consciousness is going into a bank, and this bank is referred to as the Akashic records. Why do I mention the Akashic records? Well, we have ancestors on this planet. All of us derive from families, and these families have tradition, they have history. There are bloodlines that go back tens of thousands, if not millions of years. And so we have to ask the question, did our ancestors' consciousness waves go into the Akashic records? Did the events that took place when our ancestors were alive go into the Akashic records? And the scientific answer to that question would have to be yes, because once again, energy is never lost, it is simply transferred. And so what I'm trying to tell you is that all of the information from our ancestors is held in the Akashic records. Now, this is amazing because you are related to your ancestors, and I'm related to my ancestors. So it would only make sense from a DNA perspective that it would be easier for me to retrieve information from the Akashic records from my ancestors. And it would be the same for you. It would be easier for you to retrieve information from the Akashic records from your ancestors. Once again, from a DNA perspective. And so if you ever find yourself in a position where you feel alone, you feel challenged, you are facing difficulties in your life, you can always rely on your ancestors. You can always rely on your long lost relatives. Even if you don't know who they are, or their history, or what they did on this planet, if you have faith and if you believe that they did good things, perhaps you're a good person, and maybe that derives from your family history, or your ancestors, or your DNA. Well, you can always count on your ancestors. And if you begin to meditate and pray and ask for information from your ancestors, from the Akashic records, what will happen is you will begin to connect with your ancestors. And perhaps you may see them in dreams. They may guide you in certain ways. They may become your angelic guides without you knowing. You might invite them into your life to help you. The assistance you are seeking is not as far away as you think. Thank you for checking in today's video.